Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey.
For today's episode, we actually are taking one of our friends' recommendations for this topic. So we're going to be highlighting how to build up confidence and keeping a level of happiness under these uncertain times of being under quarantine. So yeah, we'll definitely dive deeper into those two topics and what we do on a daily basis.
What I do is keep a routine that every day. It's important to have a routine in place so that you don't feel unorganized or you don't feel bored, so that you always know what you're going to do for the day. So my routine consists of waking up and then getting out of bed right away when the alarm goes off. Don't linger around your bed, although sometimes it feels nice to, but hop out of bed, brush your teeth, and then I go straight to making breakfast. And breakfast can be anything like putting my bagel in the toaster. What do you eat for breakfast?
I don't eat breakfast.
You don't eat breakfast? Okay, when I go to work, I don't eat breakfast though, but now that I'm working from home, I have some time to multitask, so I make coffee in the morning. And what I use to make my coffee is just instant Vietnamese coffee, and then I add milk to it. All of the instant coffee already has the sugar in there, just the right amount that I need, and I
just
really
drink
enjoy
it black.
That. Yeah, okay.
Straight black.
It's a lot healthier if you drink black coffee, but I can't.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't do it. I have to have my sugar and cream. After I finish making my breakfast, I eat it, and then I go back into my room, and then I make my bed, make it look really nice, and that makes me feel like I'm in a good environment because I do work from home. So, and I have this OCD where everything needs to be nice if I'm going to work there. Make my bed, and then I start my daily work. If you are working from home, if you're not working from home, what are some recommendations you'll give them that they can do at home?
A journal. It's like right next to my bed, and I'll write down like 3 things minimum of what I'm grateful for. So it could be anything. You know, you're grateful for your family, your health, your job, or those that do have it still.
That's actually very great that you said that, because remember when I told you about I was having anxiety being at home. I felt very uncertain, and his advice to me was to, every time I get that thought in my head, to take out a journal and start writing instead what I was grateful for.
Yeah, because I mean, with nowadays you can pull up YouTube on your phone or like TV, and the first thing you're gonna see is how many people died in the United States. It's definitely very difficult, right? But you still have to look at the positive in your daily lives. Whether you do or not have a job, you still have your family. Whether you still have that family, you still have your significant other, anything like that, right? You're still gonna be grateful. That's the biggest thing that kept me, keep my level of happiness during these times.
What do you do to, besides from work, how you go on podcasts, watch some stuff that you can learn on YouTube?
So for podcasts, I usually listen to a few podcasts that you can. For me, it's definitely
give them
Gary
some
Vee.
recommendations.
All right, let's see here. I don't know right off my top of my head because I have like 5 to 10 different podcasts.
Yeah, the reason I'm saying this is because some of us I know are at home who got put on furlough. And not everyone gets to work from home, so they are trying to find things to do at home. And the best one is to listen to podcasts, watch stuff that you can work on and learn about yourself or further your career.
So one of them is Jay Shetty. He definitely highlights so many different topics, from relationships to business, spiritual, mental health.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that's something you can do if you don't have work to do at home. And then after that, remember to take a break, and then for our break we take around 30 minutes to an hour, and we like to get outdoor. But if you don't have the time to go outdoor, set up a yoga mat, do some yoga, do some home exercises on YouTube that you can look up.
Just be active.
I can actually link you some in the bio link below, so you can click it and do the workout yourself. But what we do is we go on a hike, and we want to show you the hike that we went on today. Take a hike and go on a walk just be outdoor, get some vitamin D, because it does give you like that reset button so that you can.
Speaking of reset, just gonna add on to this. I found myself struggling like in the beginning of this, like, oh, most people like, hey, you know, you gotta keep working during these times, but it's also a good time to hit the reset button and just reset physically for your body, but also mentally. Because think of this time as like a time period to recharge, and when the shelter in place is over, you have more energy, more alignment to what you want, and then you can hit the ground running. So I think that's something that, you know, I'm working on right now, which is slow down to speed up.
Right. Yep. So after you do your little hike and you return back to your home, and then continue working, and then what we've been also trying to do is a lot more cooking and looking up recipes, going to the grocery store to make food that we haven't ever made before. One of my main goals was that's his favorite, but for me it's really easy to make like American food. My challenge was making Vietnamese food because I was like, wow, there's so much that goes into it, like ingredients.
What did you make recently?
Bún riêu, if you guys know what it is.
It's a common, it's a common staple
like,
food.
Tomato-based
pork.
Food.
It comes with like, you know, ground pork, right, or whatever it
ground pork ball and eggs, but then I replace pork with ground chicken, because it's a lot more healthy.
Chicken or turkey.
Just do things that you haven't ever been able to get a chance to do. So I wanted to make Vietnamese food, just because I never do, and I got a chance to be home closer to my mom, bond with her because she got to teach me how to make that, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So as we mentioned, you know, the happiness is one thing, which is extremely hard. You know, it's always going to be levels to it. But same with confidence, right? With confidence, there's definitely so many different levels to it as well. And, you know, personally myself, I was always struggling in the earlier days to, you know, build up that confidence. But
really, I didn't know that.
I think, yeah, it came with time, because, you know, not everyone has that confidence right off the bat.
I think that's kind of true, because like in high school when I had classes,
tell him.
I would sit next to him in high school econ class, and when he talks or read, or when a teacher calls on him to read, he would stutter when he talks, and I can hear it in his voice. And now I don't really hear that as much anymore. Mm-hmm. He talks really different, very confident in what he talks about. Like, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, let me get into it. So there's 3 different points that I'll make, and the first one, to how do you build up that confidence, right? Which is number 1, I'll replace confidence with competent. So there's so many different topics and, you know, different areas to focus on for confidence, but in order to be confident, you have to be competent in what you're doing. So have a clear understanding of the topic or the subject matter, whether it's in business or work or anything that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Because if you don't have that clear understanding inside and out, how are you going to project that to someone else, right? When you're talking to the other person, like, how are you going to make sure that you get your point across without sounding like, oh, you're unsure or you're not too sure about it? So that's what I mean by having competent, right? Get a clear understanding of what you're talking about.
Right. And how do you think this will tie into being beneficial for during this quarantine time?
During this time, like for me, what I've studied is, like, since I'm in real estate, I try to study as much as possible and read a lot of books and stay up to date with the market, but also be connected with a lot of agents and investors in the area. So know your, back to what my point is, being competent, right? Which is know your craft and understand the topic and make sure that you know it inside and out.
Right, and for anyone who is working from home, or even this goes for anyone during quarantine, if you're in school and you're on a Zoom call doing presentations for your classes, it's important to have some confidence when you talk. Whether you are around the time for your annual review and you want to show your boss that you're doing a good job, just make sure that your confidence, even through the work that you do at home, Zoom calls, they can still see it in you.
Yeah.
or hear it in YouTube.
Yeah. So that's the first point, and then the second point is repetition. I think with repetition it's very important, right? Which is doing something that that you want to do it daily, and making sure that you become great at it, right? So I'll use an example, right? When Michelle first started with vlogging, looking into the camera and speaking to the camera is extremely difficult. I mean, not everyone can have that confidence to speak in front of a camera like this, right? So in the beginning is definitely you got to overcome that fear that's inside your head, and then from there you keep doing it, right? Doing it until you get good at it. So that's one area, but it's applicable to anything that you're doing, whether you're cold calling or just talking to people at the event. You have to just get started. Get started by taking that action. So if you're here in quarantine, whether you want to get great at vlogging or just great at talking to people, pick up that phone and call them, right? It's this book that I read, 5-second rule. If you think about doing something, you count 3, 2, 1, and just pick up the phone and call.
Just do it is the best way to learn. Dive into it, and you learn as you go.
Yeah, and it's gonna be trial and error. So that's something that you just have to grow with over time.
There's a lot of time where he talks about things that he doesn't know for sure, and
like what?
I can't think of one right now. If you can think of one, you can let them know. But he would say it, and then I would kind of question it, like, how does he know this? Where'd you get that from? But you can't even tell in his voice or his posture, the way he's saying it, or the way he looks in your eyes or looks somewhere else. He doesn't show at all that he's incompetent.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell.
So that's leading to my third point is how you talk and your posture and your eye contact, right? So that's something that everyone can work on. But yeah, it's how you. So I hope you guys got some value out of those 2 different topics. If there's anything that you guys there's something that you want us to talk about, or
now I gotta fix my posture when you talk, because then they're gonna know, and I gotta look in the camera now.
So yeah, like the points that I've just made just now, Michelle has that subconscious thoughts, right? So anything that you guys have or recommend to us, feel free to comment below or just message us like, hey, you guys should talk on this topic, right? Or something like that, because we all have time. We want to make at least 1 video per week. That's the goal.
Yeah, we had a lot of videos before focusing on travels. What else did our business, travel, and
food?
Was it food? No, it wasn't.
You baking?
No, that was.
I
think it was just like lifestyle, travel, and business. And we had a ton of travel videos, but since it is quarantine right now, we can't do much traveling. So vlogging, we kind of wanted to touch base more on business side, because it's perfect time right now since he got into real estate and we're at home. We can record more for you guys regarding business. So we're trying to do more videos offering values to you guys.
Yeah, so anything that you want us to go over, whether it's business, personal, or lifestyle, drop it in. But I probably want to continue to do at least 1 video, at least once per week, and then get it posted on Sunday or Monday and go from there. I've been having a lot of questions on, how to get started with whatever I'm doing. So instead, I can probably just make a video for that next time. Yeah.
All right. See you guys next time.